Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Mattea Conforti about the Many Saints of Newark coming out October 1st. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an exciting time. We're going to get into the film, but storytelling, acting, did you always know you wanted to do that sort of thing?
Not really. When I was younger, I actually started out competitive dancing. So when we were seeing agencies, we were focusing on dancing roles and
Yep.
what could I possibly do to further my career in a dancing way. But I went in for an open call for Matilda on Broadway the Musical. And I was called back 6 months later for Matilda.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because that's where you learn your craft. That's where it all starts. Like a lot of
Right.
people that are on screen, they do a lot of theater. Do you feel like most people know that's kind of the start?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, I think it was helpful to start out in theater just to kind of get the professional way of how to do everything in one take and how to really stay on top of your game no
Yep.
matter what setting you're in.
hmm
But yeah, I think that definitely helped me during TV and film.
So, so now specifically talking about this film, The Many Saints of Newark. First of all, I remember when this film was announced. I'm not talking about like trailers and like announcing, like, because I remember when it was announced, and it blows my mind that it's finally coming out. And everyone's going to be
I
able to see it. Has it hit
know.
you that it's coming out? Has it hit you yet?
I mean, sort of. It's been so long though. It's kind of all coming in right now. It's like, okay, it's actually happening. Like it's coming out very soon. So
And it's interesting too because The Sopranos, arguably one of the greatest shows of all time. This is an origin story. You're playing young Janice. What was it like kind of diving into this role, and what was the preparation like for this? Did you watch a lot of Sopranos?
well, we filmed this a while ago, like
Yeah.
3 years ago. I was 12. I'm 15 now. I did this when I was 12. So my parents were like, you can't watch the series yet.
No, I was about to say.
You're a bit too young, but my family are huge Sopranos fans, and my grandparents, they were obsessed with the show. My parents were obsessed with the show. So they kind of told me how to portray Janice in a way that that she was portrayed in the real series. So that they definitely helped me with that.
You got to work with some incredible people on this project. I'm sure the learning experiences never stopped. Can you talk a little bit about specific things you learned working on this film?
I mean, the experience was so great, working with Michael Gandolfini, and seeing him portray his father in such a great way. I think that was really, really great to see him do and to continue that honor for him.
Yep.
I definitely learned how to be a bit on my crazy side for Janice. But yeah, it was such a fun experience for me and everybody in the cast.
So, without going into the spoilers, you played Janice in the 60s.
hmm
And what was that like, kind of diving into the 60s and everything? What was that like, filming
So
wise?
different. It's so different than today's time period. But the costumes and the set, they really get you into that mode where you're like, okay, this is more period now, and it helps you just kind of focus your mind in a different way than you would if I was playing young Janice in like 2021.
Yeah, exactly. What are you hoping to get out of it when people get to see the film, takeaway wise? This is an origin story. It's
Yeah.
a crime drama. Anything specific? Have you thought about that yet?
I think people are going to be really excited to see how well it ties in with the series
Yep.
and how well, like how many similarities and connections they are, and just how everything is kind of really built up to begin the series. And it was really good. I really liked the movie.
You're obviously focusing on acting right now, but you're working on this film, which is it's big scale. There's so many amazing people on it. The writing and directing aspect of things. Do you ever think about acting is something that you're focusing on, but a lot of people are gravitating towards going behind the camera as well, writing and directing. Have you thought about that at all? That maybe you want to direct or write one day, or are you focusing on acting?
Um, I mean, definitely right now, acting, but I was actually thinking about it during quarantine a lot because I didn't have anything else to think about. But I think when I'm older, I want to get into directing and producing and kind of creating my own films and TV shows. I find it really interesting and really fun.
Absolutely. Do you find it really interesting as well that a lot of shows like The Sopranos, I'm sure you heard it from your parents. I mean, it doesn't have a shelf life. Like it hasn't been on air for a while, but people keep going back and back to it. People
Right.
went back to it more when the movie wasn't even announced, but now they're gonna go back to it. Have you thought about that? Like people are gonna be watching The Sopranos a lot after seeing this film as well.
Oh my God. No, now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about it. Before, not really. I never really, well, because it was before my time, but I never really realized how big of a deal it is.
Yeah.
But it's definitely all coming into realization.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit more about getting to kind of be on set at work with Michael Gandolfini and everyone
Yeah,
else? Like so many amazing people were
yeah,
part of this film.
yeah. It was such an amazing experience. It really was, and there definitely is a lot of pressure, especially on the bigger parts in the movie, to match up with the series and
Yep.
to kind of carry on that legacy from the show, and to really really show the audience that this is the Sopranos before the series was filmed. But I think everyone did an incredible job with the parts that they portrayed. They did really well, and everybody's helping each other out, and everybody's just kind of working together as like a real Sopranos family.
Yep.
So that it was a great experience.
It's interesting as well too because it's a crime drama. There's a lot
Mhm.
happening. There's a lot based on the trailer. There's a lot kind of going on. Are you noticing that too as kind of a storyteller as well, Mattea? That there are a lot of different. Obviously, this is a crime drama, but there's a lot of like TV shows and films out there that are bending genres a little bit. Like everything's kind of getting
Yeah,
thrown in there a little bit.
I think you can also add in gore.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely gory. I can tell you that from the movie. But
absolutely.
yeah, it definitely hits all different genres and all the right places, and it incorporates everything.
Yeah, and people are like, it's coming up pretty quick. I know that there was a premiere for it,
Yes,
and
that
what
was
was that like?
oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun to get back to normalcy and to have that energy in the air and be on the carpet and see everybody again because we haven't seen each other in a while. So it
Absolutely.
was, yeah, that was a great night.
And is it one of those things where are you kind of like in because it's interesting, right? Because you shoot the film and now it's like the other part of it, like the promo part of it, it's out, the reactions. I mean, it's two different things. Are you preparing for that aspect? You did the actual work part of it, but now there's
Right.
more work with like the press and the reactions, the receptions. Are you prepared for everything that's gonna happen? Because it might be
Yes.
crazy.
It will probably get crazy, but I'm definitely prepared for it.
Absolutely. I wanted to thank you so much for taking some time to chat about the Many Saints of Newark. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
So it's going to be in theaters October 1st, so people are going to be able to see that. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
My Instagram is Mattea Conforti. So
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you can catch Mattea Conforti as young Janice in the Many Saints of Newark, which is going to be available October 1st. Until next time, it's Mattea and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.